Hey, my lovings. Please do welcome back to yet another episode of HERtalk. My name is Andy, for those of you who do not know me, also known as Umamaka Imino Baby You, okay? So today I'm humming it, or you guys already know I'm with my favorite hosts, so they will do the introduction themselves.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's good to be back. I am Lisa Ngonsi and I'm here with...
Hi Betuna, my name is Amanda Bantana. You call me Mishi. In the streets, I'm known as Mishi Poetry, and we're here to talk her talk.
Hey Mishi.
So how have you been, guys? Actually, in Kumbulile for the past
week.
It
feels like a month.
It does feel like a month.
Yeah.
Like something like as I went into the weekend, I was like, hey man, kunde shotayo in my weekend.
Yes.
It's like, damn, guys, we know her talk. Missed you guys. Any life update? Like, what have you been up to? What's new?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at that point in life. I'm just like, yeah. Like there's nothing much. It's been one horrible week.
Oh man.
We've been through stuff this week, but nothing to get into, man. Nothing interesting. Nothing
be moved.
It was visible to everyone. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And yeah, man. How was your week?
This week, are we talking about this week or are we talking about the past week?
Like just the general life update. Like what have you been up to?
The only thing, I think the only thing.
Gig. Yes, yeah.
Clark it. So I went to the Eastern Cape the past week. Was it the past week? Yes. I went to the Eastern Cape. I won't cover 25. So it was actually my first time, guys. Since I got married in 2024. Yeah, since I got married in 2024, this was actually my first time going to the in-laws. It was my first time. The last time I went to the in-laws, it was the day and I never went back again. For some reasons, gay politics were too that were there.
That side fully.
They are that side fully. My in-laws are that side fully, but there are some in-laws that are in Cape Town. My father-in-law is also in Cape Town. But there were just some family politics way too that made me to stay in Cape Town. Yeah. But I think everything else has been sorted now. Okay. I think I can go to the Eastern Cape and be the Makoti that I've always wanted to be. So I had, my first time was actually so enjoyable. I think I can do it again and again and again. Also, my in-laws are my most favorite people right now.
That's so nice.
I love that for you. Yes,
it was
like,
so
it's
nice,
like sense of belonging.
Yes, I felt like like when I got there, I was like, and how are these people gonna perceive me? Like abandazi, I don't know them. Like, but they made my life so easy. And when I got there, they actually said, when we are content, like I was so scared, like but they made me so comfortable. I had the best time of my life, to be honest.
I love that so much for you.
I actually cannot wait for December. I want to do it again. Yeah.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it, especially like because of Uqalukuya, because there's also that thing of like omakoti basekapa bakwazi usebenza, you know.
Yes.
Like let's leave the social media nonsense, but like in the real life, omakoti so like omakoti coming from Ekapa going to Lalini, like they have that thing, akwazi usebenza. So I like it that you enjoyed that.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm not sure if it's a secret, but if they are watching, that's okay. Ekhaya they know ndilivila.
Same.
And for me, it's okay as long as then I'm okay. In-laws zam kuthiwa ndiyasebenza, but if uzofika ekhaya they will be like, but yeah, that's okay.
Well, it sounds that you guys had an interesting week. Mine was also interesting. Nam also yes,
I know.
So but they do have Amaxhosa. Not really Amaxhosa because Tanzania. So when I went there, it was like very like yes, I call that rural thing that people have Eastern Cape, but they also have Amaxhosa, like Maxhosa but I haven't been there yet. So nakexa ndiyokotisa ndiseGoogle yethu izitya sizifaka kwi-dishwasher switati washing sifaka washing machine.
No
it's
hard
not as
labor.
hectic.
Love it.
But also very like modern family, modern in-laws. Bekukho umsebenzi bekuswamkelwa abanyeni of one of amadodakazi wam.
Oh.
So it's like a celebration, like nothing heavy in terms of isintu, even though beqheliwe kwasilwa. So yeah, that was nice. Like now I enjoy being around my
enjoy
in-laws.
being around
Nabayazi ke sanabantu ngumakoti we-content.
Love that for
Makoti
us.
wethu influencer.
Love that for us, Kesana.
Yes,
Love it so
right?
much. Yes, you speaking about you having to use a washing machine, using a dishwasher. I really want that for myself, you guys. I cannot imagine myself being the makoti that goes to the bush to get undos
Girl, I was feeling so sorry for you.
I wish
Yes, I do enjoy it when I have to do it once off.
Yes,
but
I was
I
about
don't
to
think I would
say.
enjoy it if I have to do it my lifetime.
Yes, like now for the
andisoze.
first time, Dienda, hlamba mathumbu, yabo. And I actually enjoyed that. And I know that a lot of people don't. Like it's one of those chores where abantu like look down on.
Yes.
But I was enjoying it so much. And then I also checked my privilege number. I'm probably enjoying it because I'm probably even never going to do it again. Yabo.
Yes,
And in
yes.
the end, like even nokotis, I don't mind. Mna ndiyemzini wami fike ndikuquzele ndipheke ndithini like once every 3 or 2 months because I don't ndiyenza okokoko. But xa ukho umakoti okhalazayo ba yo kuyasetyenzwa emzini this thatha amanzi emlanjeni, like it's also like not a good place for us to invalidate that because thina siyenza okokoko.
I think with the amatumba, there's always like a classist chat around that. That's why abantu bengayithandi because there's always like omakoti abanimali,
Yes,
on the
yes,
salad
yes.
side, and then amatumbu.
Yes.
There was a thing on Facebook about Umendo versus Mchatwe. I was
Yes.
like,
Yeah, crazy, ne?
yeah,
Very crazy if you ask me.
Okay, ke bafazi, as singabantu abancokolayo. Incoko yethu namhlanje.
it's exciting actually. It's kind of exciting, yeah.
Okay, let's
Incoko
get
yethu
into
namhlanje
it.
is centered around intimacy. And I think just before we like get into the nitty-gritty of it, like I think let's first unpack what does intimacy like look like for you?
Okay.
I'll start, Mna. So intimacy for me means like, or looks like for me, being able to be in a space where I know I can be vulnerable. And intimacy for me means closeness,
Yes.
right? And I know that like intimacy, we think sex, right? Which
Yes.
is valid because I feel like sex is
Also
also like a
intimacy,
big part
yes.
of intimacy. Excuse me. But I think like for me, like the foundation, like even before we get to the sex part of intimacy, like I need to feel safe. I need to know that I can be like vulnerable, and like that's what brings me closer to my lover. To my lover.
Yeah, intimacy also refers to like somebody you can trust.
Yes,
Trust, and we're
yes,
building
yes.
trust like a relationships. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think just like to just summarize what you're saying, it's more of an emotional thing. Like we need to feel emotionally safe. I'm smiling at you because we had this chat on social media where we were watching that guy that was
yes,
talking
yes.
about safety
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
intimacy, but women need to feel safe first. So like, yeah, I think for now, intimacy mostly means what you were saying, to be able to be vulnerable, to feel safe, to feel, I don't know, to feel like you're in a safe space to be vulnerable. That's like part of intimacy, to be able to talk about things, to be open and all that before it even gets to sex.
To the sex part.
But do you think like there's like types of intimacies? Like since we're saying sex is part of intimacy, you know, sometimes people have sneaky links and stuff. Do you think that intimacy has something to do with, and that's if I'm like articulating myself well, but do you think is it the same as in a relationship? Do you feel like with your sneaky link you have to feel safe emotionally first for you to be able to get into sexual intimacy and all that?
I don't think so. Yes, I think it's sneaky link and like your relationship. I think it differs because remember, a sneaky link, it can be someone that you just met errands, and then you just live with them at that moment, so you don't even know them that well. So I think you don't really need intimacy like in most cases. You don't need emotional. Yes, you don't need emotional intimacy. Yeah.
So I think like what we're trying to say is there's different kinds of intimacy,
Yes.
and like the different kinds of intimacy need like different parts of us. Like for example, like the part of being the sneaky link. And like I don't have to feel vulnerable or safe with you because I only need this. So it's being able to being able to know,
but okay, so this relationship, okay, this setup doesn't need what I need or what I need to feel safe, okay, what I need to open up, like kuleya is setup type of thing. So I guess city need to be vulnerable, need to be safe, need to feel respected. I think it also depends on the type of relationship. I think it then goes into so there's different types of intimacies for different types of relationships that people are in.
Yeah.
And like just speaking on that, do you guys think like Tina as women, we are able to express like fully what it is that we need in a relationship in terms of intimacy and also in terms of desire? And I say this because I think it was actually Unandile, if I'm not mistaken, that that had a post about like faking orgasms. Like la post yake was about like how she's so good at faking like
orgasms.
Yes. But now that's fine. But like what was shocking for me is like in the comments, like so many other girls and women were like, girls, same. And then abanye in the very same post were like, I've never experienced, yes, like from being intimate, like with a partner, I've never experienced like an orgasm. I've never reached climax from being like with a partner. And for me, it just triggered like, oh, your profile, damn, like Dala, she's probably like in her late 20s, early 30s. Like she's been probably doing it for a while. Baganti, like every single time she's intimate with a man, she doesn't reach like that level of satisfaction. So it also like brings up like I think a very important chat that we don't have often enough as women. But are we speaking about our desires and like what works for us? Good relationships there to organize with the people that we are being intimate with.
Yeah. Yes, I think I hate to be the one that's like spoiling this, like, but I think like it is in these needs, they are so rooted in patriarchy. Like I think for the longest time, women were having sex and never thought of it as a thing that is supposed to be fun for them too. They just thought of it as a thing to please men. Because like you'd get chats on social media that they were having sex, but they were like the penis never even inserted him. It was between the thighs, and they fine with that because like the men came, they reached their climax and they were satisfied with that, but they don't think about their own sexual needs or desires. Like I don't even think like abanye abantu they know that they are supposed to have their own. Yeah, but they think of it as a thing of bana uba umuntu wami wonwabile ndishushu like yena akangena indawo ewe and they don't talk about it. Like sometimes we are so backwards, as liberated that we are, but ezinye izinto like it's so hard to talk about. But yebafazi nakuni kwenzeka kanje, umyeni wakho wenza kanje kanye, does your boyfriend do this? And we also like try to protect men's egos.
Yes.
Like you don't want to be the one or like I don't reach climax and there's umyeni wami wenza njani because ngoku like you are deeming isidima sakhe uba umyeni wakhe akayazi lento ayenzayo. So I think izinto ezininzi man, they are so like, as much as we're learning and unlearning, like, but they are so like deeply rooted in patriarchy, like the sex talk, like it's hard to have talks like that. But guys, like so many women, like they are even like ashamed to talk about masturbation, that they masturbate and all that. So like I think women don't speak enough about sexual things because they don't want to be seen as whores. Like also a woman that loves sex, a woman that loves sex and stuff, that is that image that is tainted of a slut.
Yes.
So
that's such a powerful take. Yes.
I also think we do need like more people like Unandile. I'm not sure but the viewers do know of Unandile. Unandile is so open about speaking about sex. Like with social media, like on social media that are like, I don't think I'd spend my time watching Unandile because see, like I said, we're not used to social media basozofumana abantu that will speak so openly about sex.
Yes.
Like bacho ba like ezo zinto, like if you guys know Nandile. If not, can you guys please go and watch the Populace chats?
Yes, the previous one.
Yeah,
the
previous
latest
one. Yes. Then you
Most
will know of
recent.
Unandile and you will understand what I'm trying to say. We need more people like Unandile. Because Tina, on our side, also like I just said, for me, I do not get comfortable speaking about sex because dinabantu abadala, spaces abantu abadala. But the sex is sex.
Yes,
We do need to speak about it. Yeah, but like you tell there's a penetration, like it's cringe.
Yes.
So we'd rather I think from my side, I don't think I'd be comfortable to speak to a man, even though ndilala nayo, but I don't think I'm comfortable enough speaking to a man this is how you should do it. This is how you should not do it. Yeah, but I'm gonna be comfortable speaking to Amanda. But
Yes.
Amanda, bendienda wenethile izolo, and like ezo chats ezinjalo, but me having to speak to him about it. Also, I feel like I don't want to deem also ego yakhe ukubone as a man, especially
But I think also, can I land, please?
It's fine. It's fine.
I just want to connect like Linda
Yeah.
too, and also Linda about Nandile, how people would say, oh, it's so cringe to watch her. There was also like another post that I saw about sometimes we deem Abantu city, they are oversharing.
Yes.
And Abantu they project because it's actually what's on everyone's mind. But this person has been like so courageous enough to actually say it out loud with no shame. And then sometimes, but it's not even about oversharing. It's about you being angry or mad that Lomdu was able to so shamelessly share Lendo that you have so much shame to talk about. So I love that. And also Lisa about like patriarchy or city, I hate to be this person. I love that you're that person because it's so valid. And in terms of like how Tina, even girls, how we were raised, sex, like the education when it comes to girls and boys is so different. Like Tina, we are taught, and this comes from me having an experience of growing up with boys because the trauma with boys. So I also feel that in a sense like it helped me like not to try and understand like how men think, but just to also like have a glimpse of that world as well. So Tina, we are raised to like when it comes to sex, it's either abstain until marriage or it's protect yourself, condomize, ungamiti. Like those are the chats that we are given as like little girls around sex. But boys, on the other hand, like the conversations that boys, like little boys have around sex, it's all rooted in pleasure. And as much as, yes, it's toxic when it comes to them growing up and how they then show up as lovers, but education around sex is rooted not mostly, but often around porn. So figure bebaselana about different like porn movies or porn magazines, like that's their exposure on sex and that's their like education on how sex should be like, which is why it's so easy for them to, when they think sex, they think pleasure. But for us, when we think sex, we think shame. I shouldn't be doing it. If I am doing it, I must be careful. I must be discreet because and I think it's crazy, like what you said, Andy, about like when you wouldn't feel comfortable, like like being able to say, hey man, like so yenza kanje.
That's what I wanted to like talk about. But we shouldn't make ourselves small to make the next person feel bigger or like to tiptoe around their egos. Because I think you only start enjoying sex with your partner. I think like you have to teach each other because people come from different partners and people enjoy sex differently. So I think the only time you get to actually enjoy sex is when you and your partner are open about it without like trying to make the next person feel like shame or whatever. I don't know. But I think we should be more open with our partners. Ego or whatever, because this is also something you must enjoy. It's not about them only. It's a thing that you're doing together. Like it's most women think of sex as being done to them. That's the other mentality that we have. Like when you're having sex, you have vitika as in domazana. No, but the boys score points from it, which is not that. Like there's so many dumb talks around sex on social media. And all that.
You can't sleep with 2 men
You
in
can't
one
sleep
day.
with-
But in Lord, I can
yeah.
sleep with 5 women in one day and
they-
nothing is going to happen to
And
them.
the other thing, men are so bad at sex. Like coming back to as comments, basically post kanandile zoba many women don't know orgasms. They are faking them. I'm thinking here about how do you even fake something that you don't know? Like, like how do you fake it? But I'm coming back to think about with most part, I think abantu that have slept with abanye abantu, I'm not going to like abantu, they have that experience that they've came from relationships where they've never actually reached climax and they've never thought about reaching it. They were just like happy that the partner, which is the guy, is like just reaching it, because we think of it as a thing to please men. That's why we don't open up about Jonga, I don't like it when you do that. Maybe lo mntu usuka kumntu ebethanda ubanjwa wherever or whatever. And then xa yenza kuwe wena ayichazi, but you don't talk about it. You're going to be there and pretend, moan or whatever while you're not happy. And then this is how we come on social media and talk about abantu abafonyozayo. But you don't talk to the person that's doing it to you. Uba, you shouldn't be doing this to me. I want it done like this. That's how you're going to enjoy it.
And that's also why like purity culture is a thing. Like purity culture is so deeply embedded in patriarchy because now they want like be a virgin, like only be with one man for the rest of your life, because they don't want you to come with that experience of knowing, hey, like sex with A felt like this and it felt good. But you are doing it and you're not doing it like A. So purity culture promotes that culture of not having a point of reference as a woman where you've only been like with that one man. And I think like what then like brings us to our next topic, or rather my next question is, how do we then like have those conversations like in our relationships? Like how do you say, hey, this is not working for me? Like it's probably awkward. Like I know I've been there, Nam, and I think most women who do enjoy sex had to have that difficult, that talk of, hey, please do it like this because this is how I enjoy it. And I think also like being creative. I recently saw this girl share cards, like intimacy cards. So they have like this date night where they play these like this game. And then it's drink or do, I think. So like maybe lick me on a body part. If you don't, drink this. So I think like izinto ezinjalo that maybe Nati we can introduce like in our marriages, where you don't have to explicitly say, I don't like this, but you can show them instead like what you like.
I think, I'm so sorry, Ted.
No, it's fine. You know, I once met a girl that said, Bana, for her, for them to enjoy sex with their partner, they have to watch a porn. Like that's their life. Like if they don't watch a porn, then nothing is gonna work. Anyway. But she's still in the relationship and she's enjoying Londo.
Yes, I don't want to think
I think for different,
and we shouldn't
I think it's
shame
different strokes for different people.
Yes.
Come on.
It's a kink. Yes, I think it's also important that we watch that educate about sex. I was watching this. I'm going on a different point. What I wanted to say.
It's okay.
But in the porn, I was watching Heartbreak High. This series Heartbreak High. This guy was Spider. Like he's like those guys that talk about sex a lot at school and all that. It's like a high school thing, teenagers. But he's never had it because every time he tried to have it, like until he was with this girl, so all he did was please this girl, like give her orgasms through oral sex,
Okay.
But this girl was concerned about don't you want anything or whatever, and because he was ashamed, he was always like, nah, I'm fine. Like as long as you're having fun, I'm fine. Only to find out the one time he got honey, the girl farted. And his kink was
that's
fart.
his kink. That's crazy.
Which is crazy. So, Benfuna Udima, this talk about the porn, because porn is not real sex. So if it's a kink and I want to go with it, but porn is not real sex.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. Like, I think most kinks are not healthy, by the way.
But what do you guys mean when you say it's not real sex? Like, I'm trying to understand. But what does that mean?
They deem sex as this perfect thing on porn, which it doesn't happen like that in real life.
So I think that's why
And it creates expectations that are unreal. Like on porn, you get guys that have. This is getting real. Like they you see on porn, it's an act, ne? The people that are doing it are barely even enjoying it. They're doing it to please the viewers, which is you, the person that is watching. But bona, it's not a thing that they're enjoying. Like a porn lendoza can go on for 2 hours, like doing the same thing, which is unreal. Like in lendoza, in real life, like people like just going on for 2 hours. I don't know if it's unreal or whatever, but I've never experienced it. Going on for 2 hours with no orgasms in between or coming off the guy or whatever. So abantu, like, they tend to expect that in real life. But I wouldn't come on senior, watching. So those are the unreal expectations that it sets.
I think that's why, like at the beginning when I said, like when boys are introduced to sex, or kind of when they learn about sex, often they learn about it through porn, which is why often they get such bad sex or like bad lovers because they don't really understand what real intimacy is. And the one thing about porn, which is so toxic, like toxic is like expecting a woman just to be turned on or be in the mood because you are. So it also goes back to intimacy. And I think another topic that we are not speaking about is foreplay. Like how foreplay is so important, like as girls as well, where you can't just come and it's done, bam. Like get me in the mood first.
Yeah.
And I think Tina, we are wired so differently, like to men when it comes to that. Like like men are visual beings. Like a man could just see you and just be turned on. But for us as women, not all women, of course, like there are women who are also wired like that. But generally for us, it takes more than just for me to see, like for me to be able to get there. Yeah, or like speak to me, kiss me, caress me, or foreplay.
like if porn doesn't show that. Like porn just shows two people and it's wham bam. And then they grow up with the mentality of the on, so now we're on. So now you end up having this dry sex because also you're not even lubricated because I'll go on. Now it's painful. Now you're not enjoying it. And then also I can understand he can't wrap his head around but why you gonna enjoy it, but I'm penetrating you like it should be pleasure because that's all that he knows. So which is why again it's so important for us to be able to speak to our lovers.
I think that, like how do we go on about that, actually talking about it? I think another perfect time would be after sex, like after it just happened, actually, to just be like, how is it? How is it for you? And then, like, when they talk about it, and then that's the time for you to also say about, okay, I like it when you do this and that. It works more for me or whatever. And Yazi, I think sex also depends on the mood and whatever, like the background. For instance, if no baba and the mood is bad, he would want to have sex maybe later on. But I am in mood bad, like I don't want you to touch me. Like I am not.
And it's so crazy, Yazi, because going back to Lando Yomyalo, I had crazy people abanyala, but funny women, man, they were all funny. There was this one lady wathi nokubana xa umqumbele ke umnyeni usisa akaqumbanga yena, like it's like one of those things.
It goes back to that question that Anubuza on social media about if you are married, do you do sex every day? Like guys, come on.
Yes.
Come on. Why would we do sex every day?
It's
There's just no way. Like there are times dingabiko right, dingabiko mood to do anything. So why should I do sex? And also for me, like what you just said, they said, but if I come, even everything.
Same.
Now, if I am mad, I'm mad with whom Zimbabwe, I'm mad at kitchen. Like I'm mad with everything. Now, why would I give you sex?
Yes.
Exactly. Also, I feel like people don't understand the woman body biologically because we are programmed in a way, like we have a cycle. Also, like that goes with our periods and whatever. What do we call the cycle again? Menstrual cycle. Yeah. So your body like goes through like certain stages every month. There's the follicular phase, there's the ovulation phase, and then there's the period phase. And women feel differently in different parts of those phases.
Like, that's so valid.
Exactly. There is going to be a week where you're not into it at all. Maybe the week before you get into your periods because your hormones are acting up. Your body is acting up, And now, as much as you would like to please your partner, maybe at that point, but
awukwazi.
uzawubona umzimba wakho not responding because it's not there. Like it's going through a
Yes.
different type of thing. And I think people don't understand that. And Nathi, as women, sometimes we don't take time to learn our bodies and understand ourselves. But you actually
Yes.
have hormones and your body is going through stuff and it doesn't want to take part in that or whatever. So I think like there's a lot of sexual education and we are not being taught enough about the woman body.
Yes, yes.
There's not enough sexual education. So
And also, like, even Nati, besides, like, it's so valid, like what you just explained about the menstrual cycle, but also the hormones that we take, like for contraception, for example.
exactly.
I know personally, like, how much contraception, like, contributed to, like, my
sexual
sex life, like what I
Same.
wanted to do and what I didn't want to do. For example, I was on the injection for the longest time, and I came to learn that injection, like, affects my libido.
Yeah,
So
it
in the sense that
does.
when I'm on the injection, like, I'll have like long periods of time where I don't want to have sex.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not even in the mood. And it had nothing to do with my partner being less attracted to him. It had absolutely nothing to do with him. It was just like the hormones which were pumped in my body, which made me feel like that.
Feel like that.
And I think it brings us to our next topic of, do you think, okay, maybe we kind of did answer it with saying women don't like, not women gay, but the women body is not fully understood, like, biologically, and how it affects our emotions and also desires. So do you guys think, like, before a girl or a woman enters like a relationship, like an intimate relationship, do you think they first need to understand bona, like, what is
Their
it
bodies.
works for me in terms of my body, what are my desires, etc., etc.? And do you also think physical, emotional connection, like if you are emotionally connected to someone, does that translate into physical connection as well?
Honestly, I think Mna, I don't want to talk about me, but I think Mna, women should wait. Like, I wouldn't advise. I'm into sexual education and teenagers having sex and all that, but I'd really advise that people start having sex older. I feel like you start enjoying it older because you're doing it for you. Like, in the teenage stage, you have sex under pressure. You have sex because your friends are having it. Everyone is talking about it. And you barely enjoy it. Like, I remember the first time I had sex, my friend had just broke her virginity and she was talking about and I was like, I wanna hear it. Like, I'm definitely and be able to talk about it. But it was never a thing I enjoyed. Like, I think I only started enjoying sex like in my like early 20s, like when I can like talk about it and understand my body more, when I've studied my body more and all that. So I think women should start having sex when they understand their bodies more. That's valid. And what was the next question? I had an answer.
And
for
do you
that.
think emotional connection translates to you being physically attracted to someone?
Yeah, no, I think it depends. Lenaben City, like, I think sex depends on the setting and what's the mood behind it and all that. Because sometimes we're not emotionally connected to people. You'd
But
have
you want
sneaky
that
links
physical-
and you just like, there's no intimacy. You and this person are just like, the right word is fucking. Like fucking. Like, there's no like sexual intimacy or whatever, but you guys are having so much fun. So I don't think that sometimes it has anything to do with emotions and all that. But I think with your partner, like like I'm
Yes.
saying, like with Ubaba, sometimes I'm not in the mood because I'm mad at him. So it affects my emotions. But I will hardly, if I had a sneaky link, be mad at them for any business because we're not connected like
Like
that
that.
emotionally. We know you don't dibanisayo. Like classic dibana, we're excited about, okay, we're about to go down and then we go our
Yes.
separate ways.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think it has anything much to do with emotions
connection.
at times. It just depends on the mood and the setting.
100%.
Mna, even growing up, I don't think I've been lamb who gets comfortable with Uwinwa.
Yeah.
Because if we anyway, like you just go home and have sex, like what's next? Like you see Africa's kulule. Sometimes you don't even kiss Africa's kulule. I wanna feel emotional attraction. Like mandukuve, like man has the feelings for you.
Which is valid. It's
So I
valid.
don't think I just have sex with just anyone.
Yeah.
If I'm if you meet someone, you don't have to wait for you to sleep with them. Let's say I'm gonna meet someone, and then you're gonna chat a phone in, and then go home, so I must visit them and then sleep with them. Like I need to learn you. I need to know who you are before I can give you my body. So I'm like, I don't get comfortable with all those things, but let's go. I couldn't let's just do sex secret. For me, I am someone for relationships. Like I'm someone for serious relationships. Like I don't even do his killing. I've never done one, to be honest.
But can I just correct you somewhere, like on your terminology, ne? It's valid younger and about emotion, learning the next person and whatever. But then I think like the way we talk sometimes, like asiziva, like the way you see tetengai, like before I give my body to you, which like goes back to purity culture, that as women we think we're giving our bodies to men, we're not having
language.
sex.
Language.
So it carries a lot with purity culture, that women think we need to wait 3 months and do whatever, which is valid. It's fine. Having sex is your choice, and how you want to do it, it's fine. But then it can't be a thing, but I can't give you my body because it's not you giving your body, you having sex. Like you're not giving it to the men. It's something that's why women don't enjoy sex. They stay in relationships for long. Orgasm, because they only think that they're giving away their bodies to the men, which goes back to
Should be an experience,
and all
yes.
that stuff. Yeah.
And also, I think to answer Lando of the question that we had of should women know their bodies or can you know themselves first before like entering like an intimate relationship, and Abandu, that my experience as well, my first time experience, I don't even recall it like properly. Like it was a mess. So, and like often like women, when you speak about that first time, like how was it? It's either it was horrible,
It was painful.
I don't remember. Yes, because you were young, right?
Yeah.
So maybe like if you wait like a little bit longer, so that not even maybe, wait a little bit longer so
Please.
that you can understand your body and you can understand like what pleasure looks like to you, because there's also women who don't get any pleasure from penetration, and that's also
Exactly.
valid. Like they get a pleasure from other forms,
And there's a lot
or
of
other
women
ways
that
of
don't
sex.
reach orgasms from penetration. It's not their thing.
So it's just about like learning and like understanding your,
Your
body,
body.
too. Yes. And do you think that there's like a safe space for us in our communities in terms of like looking at your friendship circle,
Talk about
family setup? Like, do you think
No.
there is a place for us to speak about sex? Like, around could you speak about sex?
No.
Because also before
There's also like this conversation that often is had of suthetha nge-sex yomntu wakho kwiitshomi zakho ngoba uzobarhalisa.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing. Like it's like a rule. Like when I try, it's bro code.
Is
It's
it?
code like amongst us. I don't know. It's a 1K is like.
Yes.
But don't speak about it. Like
Is
yes, and I think it's
Oh, man.
one of like the toxic things, because now you find yourself like not being able to freely speak with each one about your sexual experience because of don't do it.
I think now for a girl child, there's no safe space to talk about sex. We know, like girl children, they only taught about patriarchy. Like purity culture is so enforced in them. Not having sex was patriarchy. Like I'm all for sexual education, girls having sex and all that. But then we don't educate the girl child. Just tell them whatever. But we don't come with the facts to them. Like don't let me tell you. Like if we were to tell the girl child you are not going to enjoy sex until you're older, until you understand your body, until like not na asuyenza because usinike emakhwenkweni uthini. That's a toxic way of teaching about it, and we're not opening a safe platform for the girl child to come back to us as adults and talk about my experience was bad or whatever, because we're going to shame them about why are you even doing it.
Like there is no safe space. There has never been a safe space. Like I think we need to be more liberated. As I think sometimes as liberated we are so backwards on some things like sex. Like it's things that we as the toxic thing is we make sex the sacred thing, which is not. It's just sex. It's like we make it this thing, this like big out of earth thing, and like we don't talk about it honestly and openly. So that's why we don't have a safe space to talk about it as women, and for the younger child to come up to us as older women. I'm also a younger child, but as for me to not be able to come up to Andy and be like, no man, like I'm not enjoying it or whatever. Yeah, but because uzoba like, Lisa, what the hell? Why are you doing it? Like, yeah, so there is never a safe space. And
I think the safe space when it comes to sex, the only safe space that I used to have, it was back in high school. Like as Love
Life.
Yes, as our chat has got live. But you only got those, like I think till grade 10. Is it till grade 10? Like if we would have those people like from an early grade. Because I think they only start in, is it grade
8?
I think they start in grade 8.
No, younger than grade 8. Like grade 6.
I think with us, they only started in grade 8.
Love Life.
10.
I've never heard
Exactly, because Lee 2K.
Lee 2K. Yeah, we used to have those back in the days. And I think for me, they were very educational. But also, I wish if we can have more of those, but if they can start at a younger age. Yeah, but like if they can start at grade 4. Like already, grade 4, like, you know, they have an idea. So they're like, like, I think they will know. And they are comfortable speaking with. Like, of course, I'm just about comfortable to tell my mom about the sex. But if was about that are gonna go there every Fridays and then speak to us about the sex, but to know Imi. Like was about comfortable Imi ba I met this guy and that ufuna sense sex. So was about comfortable to that they can discuss this thing with. Whereas as mama she's not gonna be much comfortable as love.
But I think I want us to work on a world where a girl child is able to talk with their mother about sex. I want us like to be those parents, because also it's very dangerous, because when they get raped or when they touch uncomfortably, because once again we make sex this big sacred thing in Lenduza. So I be la open space and whatever. So ngoku kids are going to like umntana on a 16 will be having sex with a man in their 30s, and they can't go back home and talk about that because ako safe space or whatever. They think like this man would groom them, have sex with them or whatever, and they think they in love, like, okay, manga to him. Like when I 16 and then they're having sex with a man in their 30s. Like men in their 30s, they look so young, like they look sometimes, and uzocinga in love and akazokwazi ukuza kum because we make it this thing ba no funeka uziphethe kahle and whatever. Akazokwazi ukuza kum ba mama ndithandana nobani bani una 13 tontoni and whatever. Like now I don't get the platform to teach them ba you being groomed, lo mntu what they doing to you is wrong. You are not supposed to be doing it with them, because what I've only ever taught them is that magas patriarchy and not do it, which doesn't work, because a teenager is going to do it. They're going to go out there and want to experience for themselves. So if singabazali that are not an open space to kids to have sex talks and educate them about sex and all that, it comes back to haunt us, like, because it gets dangerous. I'm rambling.
As to like the part that you mentioned about Love Life, I think those programs were so crucial, ne? And so many of us look back and we say, Tina, when we grew up, we had these programs. And Kaujonga, the programs were actually led by OCC, who were in their mid-20s to early 30s. So Siti Abu Sisi, the reason that Ama2K don't have those programs is because we are the adults and we are not doing those programs for Abandwana. So the onus is on us, like the reason that those programs are not there. And also like what you mentioned about being a mom or being a parent even, that is able to have like such talks of like about sex with umdana or like being a safe space, and your child also knowing that like you are a safe space as a parent. But I also don't want us like to demonize sex, because it's such a thin line, man. We can speak about sex and say you're not giving your body to to a man, and it's not the sacred thing. Hear me out. Sex is a sacred thing. Like even in, oh, I hate to be religious. Like even in the Bible, they speak about it's the one gift that was given to man that other creatures like on earth don't have. Like as humans, we can procreate and also have pleasure from that same act. Other creatures, and there's again, replacement effect, check up. Other creatures, I don't know if they also gain pleasure from sex, but yeah, we know that they're made to have offspring. So I think also in these conversations, we must be careful to say it's not sacred. Like, I feel like it's a beautiful thing. Like it is a sacred thing to be able to share that intimacy with someone that you love. And going back to what you said about, like as the girl child, the topic around sex, like it's always, be careful, zigcine, and I think it's the black girl child. So I've had the experience, like my first sex talk, so ndikhuliswe ngumamam, right? Nomlungu kamamam. So my mom's a domestic worker. So the lady that she was working with for iminyaka, she's still in my life. So she helped raise umamam, helped raise me with my mom, right? So I also had that parenting coming from a white person's perspective. And the first chat now that I had around sex, like when I was sat down by her, was it's this beautiful feeling that you're going to feel when you're sitting with a boy that you have these strong emotions for. Like imagine, like how beautiful is that? Like those are the conversations that we must like uyibeke kanjalo emntaneni as the girl child as well. So now I was empowered to know, but it's this beautiful thing that I should also be enjoying when I'm with the boy that I like. Do you get it? But as the black girl child, you are taught it's this thing that you should be ashamed of. It's this, and I think it's also like, oh, it's a deeper chat that goes into ilokishi and like how our lives are set up and poverty and teenage pregnancy and lack of education and. But I feel like you also don't want to have that chat with umdana ibengathi uyamthuma.
Yeah.
And I think it's also, yes, it's also like a difficult thing that you have to navigate as umzali, that I want to be a safe space for umdanam. Akwazi uzothetha about sex. Akwazi uzonbuza about A, B, and C. But also umdanam is young and I don't want to be ingati diam encourage aba hamba amboyenza. And I think that's the difficult, like the gray area that we have as like abazala bamnyama, like I want to be a cool parent, but also ndifuna uyazi uba ndingumama akho and your chom yakho.
Also, I know. Okay. Yo, I'm talking over you.
You
today.
guys are
I'm
not
so
giving
sorry.
me a chance. Oh my goodness.
I found like, hear me out.
Siaflo,
So I think now we are the new moms. New moms are up because for me, growing up, I never had those conversations with my mom. And it always felt so bad. Even when I started having sex, my mom didn't know. Like, obviously, she wasn't going to know. But I do feel like, mana, it would have been better if before I had sex, I had like some education. Even when I started my period, like my mom never discussed that with me. I remember my first period in that for many periods, and then I went next door, and then I told the lady next door, "Nyani wankupeli pet and I So when I got home, they faka wrong. So when I got home, sitting on the couch, and pagamayo, there was blood everywhere. All my mom said was that let's clean it up before brother wakwai born.
What? Periods. That's another topic.
That's another topic that I wanted to get to. Do you
Periods.
guys think, or do you guys feel like abazali betu are not teaching our brothers enough about like imizimba yethu as women, or like
they're not even teaching us.
You
that's the
bringing,
issue.
yeah, she's bringing another like part of like the boy child. Like as much as we speak about understand the woman body awareness as the woman, but like I feel like the boy child should also have some like
yes,
sort
some
of exposure.
education.
Yes. And also like how periods are so like demonized, like even in African culture. Like I know that xa kukho umcimbi and ungumntu ongumama okanye intombi esexesheni, like even if kukokweni awukwazi ukuya ebuhlanti like xa kukho umcimbi, like you are put aside because it's seen as ukungcola. But there was also like another show that I watched where they said something about back in the ancient times as Africans, like igazi lethu as abantu abangomama once it hit the soil, it prevented like crops from growing, like it defertilized the soil, right? So that is why they would say, like that is why kwabakho concept of like sukuya, like a plant yokanye with his
Do you think
cattle
that's
and
a real
on.
thing though?
I
Or
don't
it's just
think
created
so.
by men.
Guys,
Just demonize periods.
As that spiritual and African spirituality is like a big part of my life, I do believe it because I also believe in the fact that people go and pray for rain and it happens. Like, like I feel like Tina, as Black women, especially Black people, we are so connected to nature and spirituality. But topic for another day. But
Yeah.
about like periods, like in Yani we are taught about. Like, yes, be on your periods, but
Angayiboni, yes.
it's crazy because it's so natural.
There was a topic.
I'm thinking about it.
There was a topic. The question that was posed. It was what
would you do in this situation?
In this situation,
So
and it
there
was
was a black
asking
stain
men.
in the car.
Yes.
No, I want to go back to the sex topic, and I'm coming back to this thing. You wanna it goes back to beliefs, religious, like African spirituality or whatever. When you were talking about Bana, how sex was explained to you as this beautiful sacred thing, I think Londo, we do it according to our beliefs. If you're a religious person, that's how you're going to think about it. But then I don't think it's a sacred thing for everyone, and it's not invalid to say that it's not sacred because for other people.
No, sorry, hear me out. I'm not saying it's invalid. I'm saying let's not have this one dimension. I love it that we are able to say it can be a sacred thing for me, and that's valid.
Yeah.
It cannot be a sacred thing for you, and that's valid too. And I think it goes to Nalando of like us having different like relationships and setups. Like sneaky link, sex doesn't have to be sacred. But if I'm married and I'm sharing sex with my husband, I'm sorry, that's a gift. It's definitely sacred to us. So I think both truths like can coexist. Yes, both are very valid.
The period chat though, when men were being performative on social media.
Do you guys really think they were being performative?
I think that rage
like I'm trying
men
to,
are
I'm
so
trying to understand what do you guys
performative.
think about
Yazi,
Men are so
I loved your
unoriginal.
point. I loved your point yesterday when you were talking about that guy. I don't want to mention his name and ruin his reputation. But Yazi, when I was listening to that guy, what he was saying were my thoughts. But you know when someone is saying what you've been feeling, but you couldn't put it into words. That's how I felt. That's why I asked Uba, who is he? Like I was like so amused. But then I got to a point, Uba, men do this thing of learning women and all that. And apparently the guy was also trending for treating all his ex-boyfriends badly, as passionately as he was talking about being a good boyfriend, being a safe space. Like they were talking about intimacy. It's this other podcast. They were talking about intimacy. And then the other guy was asking about, why do you think women don't feel safe, wara wara? And then this guy was talking about safety and whatever. I was so amused, Ubana. Like this thing has been on my thoughts, Ubana. Why don't I want to have sex when I'm angry? It's because I don't feel safe at that moment. I don't feel like, Ubana, it's a thing I can do and whatever.
Yes.
So men do that. They're performative. They come on social media and act to be these good people who would do this and that. I do believe that they are good men. I've had my periods around my boyfriend so many times. In fact, I've had like really bad periods that put me down. Like ingathi ndiyagula and I see you. And my boyfriend has always taken care of me.
Yeah, good.
But I don't want him to go on social media and be like, I'm a good man because when she's on her periods, I buy her that. I buy her.
it's
Like, why are you doing that?
And like wait for me to brag about it. That's my chat.
It's so performative.
That's
when you
also
come and
my
do
chat
that.
about like that guy. Like everything that he was saying was on point to shame. Can't fault him. But my thing is like men like that are so dangerous because how many experiences did you have to have with women for you to be a guru like that? And they say all the right things, man.
I also don't like men that say all the right things about women, like that come and have all these thoughts.
But
about
why
women
do
and
you
all
guys
that.
feel like that? I'm trying to understand. Why do you not want men to brag about some things on social media?
No, not
Do you guys
Not
feel like
brag.
abekho nje real life, or they're just doing it for the face?
Like we know South African men, we live with them like every day.
Besides knowing South African men, for me, it's about like it's a women issue. Let women speak about it. It's not
Okay, I
your
get you.
platform. Let women speak about it because it's women issues. But also with my experience, like being with like friends with guys, is men who have been raised by like omakhulu. I don't know, man. They just turn out to be these kind, compassionate
Yes,
men.
yes.
There's something about a man that was raised by omakhulu and like omakhulu yedwa. Yes.
Yes,
I don't
sometimes,
know.
yes, sometimes speaking about that,
but
sometimes
it's that
those,
maternal-
those men, ngaba bangafunwayo. Ngaba singabafunwa because women
Want
be
bad
like,
boys.
"Ngamaqanda,
We want
ngamaqanda
bad
kakhulu."
boys.
And men that cannot protect you, like figure amaginsa ebusuku. Like those ngaba
But on social
Valid, I
media,
hear
like,
that.
that question about the periods, like, I'm saying it's performative because why was that even a question? Like, why was that even a question?
It goes back to that
On social
saying,
media.
Yoba, do you guys think about amadoda are not being educated enough about these things? Like about periods. Yeah, ba?
Being educated, yes. I think when it comes to amadoda, we need to like look at them as the boy because when it comes to fundiswa and stuff. So is sex education and as we had life orientation.
Yes.
So there's fundiswa like about the periods and stuff, but it was very biological. So it goes back to Lando of understanding the woman body, but also understanding the woman body biologically can also slightly be dangerous because we are not only abantu biological, we also have emotions. There's orgasms that like make us. So I think men now when it comes to periods, they only know like the biological side of it. But okay, once a month she goes like on her periods when they get A, B, and C. This is the cycle, but they don't understand like it's not like I'm sick. Okay, there's something wrong with me. Like it's a natural thing. And I might need for you to support me more emotionally because I might be going through these ups and downs, like with my emotions and. So I think it's like a about like sex education. Let's not just educate sex in terms of the biological man, woman, genitals. This is what happens, but also like try and have an education which unpacks like the emotions and the desires and the passion. And I think it also goes back to like teaching about the periods as well, like trying to unpack like the woman as a whole when she's like during Eliklesha in the month. This is what she goes through and. So
Yes, I think as they should have a subject. Sex, that speaks on sex education. Yes, I think they should
I
have
love
one.
sex
Yes.
education, the series.
Like, I
Did you
know,
guys
like,
watch it?
now that we're on it, I want to recommend that people watch Heartbreak High. It has a lot of like sexual education and sex education. There is a series called Sex Education. It educates a lot. Actually, I learned a lot about sex
through La
series. No, Heartbreak High. It's a teenage lenduza, but there's a lot. They have a class.
I think they have a book.
They have a class for sex education where they talk about
Exactly.
sex
Yeah,
education.
That's how it
need that.
should be.
It's so beautiful. I want people to
And
watch
also
it.
not divide, because also xa kuthethwa nge-sex education, I think kuba khona la division ba i-boys ngapha, i-girls
Yeah,
ngapha.
yeah.
Have a
Not
sex
take it
education
openly.
which is
As a
inclusive.
whole.
Because even like
Exactly.
Love Life, if you think about it, Love Life, there's girls ngapha, there's boys ngapha.
Yeah.
But hey, I think this was such like, this was such a great chat. I enjoyed it. I think we should have more conversations
Like
like
this.
these. Like
This
I'm
is-
gonna go
this
back
was
to
so
my
beautiful.
friends now, like WhatsApp group chat yet. Did you bafazi? Ikona that post about bafazi xa ufuna uinitiator is-sex emnyenini wakho uthini? And then you go through his comments.
Anyway, what would you like take away from the topic that we had today? Like, what would you like to tell the viewers?
Okay, I'll start. I think we need to teach our kids more about sex. I think we should have like comfortable topics with them, and we shouldn't hold back, like discuss everything that has to do with sleeping with men. We need to discuss about their
Also,
periods.
I'm
and-
so sorry to cut you off. We forgot consent in this whole
Oh
chat.
my
Oh, that's so
goodness.
important.
Consent
Yes,
is so
yes,
big when it
yes.
comes to sex.
That's so important.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yes.
You can continue.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's just about it.
Desene blank mind, please go for it.
Nah, I don't have much to say. I just think I don't want women. I think that was like the most point I was making throughout. But I don't want women to think of sex as something that's being done to them. I want them to think of it as a thing that they're supposed to be enjoying, and they're doing it with the partner. That's just all I want. I want us to erase purity culture. Like, I feel like we're so backwards because of purity culture. Sex is supposed to be enjoyed by all the people involved in it. It's not there to please men. And don't think of boosting ego yendoda. Tell them, if you feel like ayikho lento ayenzayo mthexelele uba andiyithandi kanje ndiyithanda kanje ndibambe apha. Like, and also like I think sometimes men figure us out, but you like it this way and they make it a routine. Like explore, have fun with
we
it.
didn't speak about exploring.
Yeah, have fun with it, and like don't stop learning my body, and don't think that you have me all figured out. Yeah, that's about
you.
it.
For me, it's very short and sweet, and it's directed to the young girls. Like, it's okay to wait.
Yeah.
It's okay to be a late bloomer. And also it's okay to be an outcast, because you grow up and you realize that those who were outcasts when they were young are actually the cool kids when they're grown up.
Yeah.
So outcasts always turn out to be the cool adults. So it's okay to be an outcast. It's okay to wait. Courage.
Anyway, coming to the end of it, we have new merch on the Populace market. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm American. We have new merch on the Populace, says my manager, on the Populace market website. You can go check it out and get something nice. We have winter tracksuits and all that. So thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time and you learned a thing or two from this beautiful woman right here. Bye.
Toodles. Oh, we enjoyed this.